What's going on with the Village's health? The better question is, what's going on with Citizens First? Are they correlated? Some people are saying there may be problems financially, but I have a different opinion. Let's start with the history of the two sales, and you tell me what you think. I'll get to Citizens First in a minute and how it ties in, but let's start with the Village's health. The Village's health announced recently that it plans to sell its assets to Humana's CenterWell. This comes after the announcement that Chapter 11 filing for bankruptcy, which allows for corporate restructuring. The bankruptcy is a direct result of discovering significant discrepancies in Medicare billing, which led to overpayments. These were recognized in the fall of 2024. According to local news reports, the bankruptcy filing shows that the company owes between $100 and $500 million, but it has assets between $50 and $100 million. That's a little less than what they owe, I'd say. The filing also shows that they owe the government $361 million. The developer notified the government in December about this problem and is working through the issue. That was according to the paper that they released not too long ago. It was actually in the Daily Sun. Now, at the end of May, Citizens First Bank announced that they were being purchased by Seacoast Bank. The most interesting part, however, is something I think most people missed. Citizens First Bank held a limited auction in November of 2024. The total cost of the sale? $710.8 million. Seems to me that the developer knew what was coming with the strategic reporting of the Medicare billing and decided to get ahead of it with the sale of Citizens First Bank. What are your thoughts? I would love to hear them. On July 23rd, Villages News reported that UnitedHealthcare filed a formal objection to the proposed sale of the Villages Health to Humana's CenterWell. In that filing, UnitedHealthcare said the process raised, quote, every possible flashing red light, unquote. They criticized the bankruptcy sale process as being rushed, secretive, and designed to shield insiders from future liability. They also questioned whether the proposed $50 million sale price truly reflects the value of the business, especially given the lack of open bidding or competitive offers. What's more, UnitedHealthcare says it was left out of the conversation entirely, even though it may be the Villages Health largest non-government creditor. They claim the company owes them for prepaid branding and marketing agreements going back over a decade, and yet they weren't even told the bankruptcy was coming. There's serious allegations and red flags. According to the court documents reported by Villages News, UnitedHealthcare alleges that Villages Health has a, quote, record of corporate misbehavior. The objection cites concerns about improper Medicare billing, a government audit that could leave the company owing more than $360 million in overpayments. That number alone casts a shadow over the deal, especially if the sale goes through without requiring the buyer, CenterWell, to take on that potential liability. $24 million loan just to keep operating. Then, just days later, on July 27th, Villages News revealed that the Villages Health needs to borrow $24 million simply to keep its doors open during the bankruptcy process. According to a declaration filed in court by Chief Restructuring Officer Neil Lurig, the organization is in significant financial distress. It's not currently profitable on a cash basis, and without the loan, it can't meet payroll or continue to do day-to-day operations. This emergency funding would serve as a bridge loan just to get the Villages Health through bankruptcy while the sale is finalized. Lurig also stressed the importance of getting a deal done before Medicare's open enrollment period begins on October 15th. If not, patients may lose access to Medicare Advantage plans and the buyer, CenterWell, might walk away. This is what it all means. The Villages Health filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy on July 3rd, 2025. They admitted to potential Medicare overbilling, which could result in massive government penalties. They are trying to sell their clinical operations to CenterWell for $50 million. UnitedHealthcare is fighting the sale, calling it a rushed insider deal that ignores creditors and dodges accountability. And now, the Villages Health needs to borrow $24 million just to survive the next few months. This is more than just a financial story. It's about access to care for thousands of Medicare patients in one of America's largest retirement communities. What's next? As the courts continue reviewing objections and motions, several questions remain. Will the sale of CenterWell be approved as is? Will UnitedHealthcare objectives lead to delays or even a new buyer? And what happens if the $24 million loan doesn't come through? One thing is certain, the outcome of this bankruptcy will affect patients, providers, and insurers throughout this community and possibly beyond. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.